Cooltan's moving to a bigger place, do you think it's going to change much?
It's got to, hasn't it? I think that having a much bigger space will allow more things to be done, more ideas to be developed that might not have had a chance to be developed in this smaller space. It's because it's going to have a gallery, and the gallery space will be rented out when it's not being used by Cooltan. That itself might bring along some changes.
Okay.
We'll have to wait and see, aren't we?
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll keep the Cooltan ambience.
And what would you say that is?
Michelle. Michelle is the Cooltan ambience, the spirit of it. And that's to encourage and help people express themselves in ways they might not thought they had the talent or inclination to do so before, and she encourages it.
Can you tell me what you do at Cooltan?
Script writing, poetry, and I come and assist in the office twice a week.
What do you like about coming to Cooltan?
Arts, there's different types of arts, from poetry to painting, so one can do anything that they want.
Okay. And is there anything you wish that they did do that they don't at the moment?
Music. Or dance. Yeah, music and dance.
Okay. And do you have any sort of experience with music?
Yeah, a little bit.
In what aspect?
Drumming, different types of drumming. From stage to drumming for poetry.
Okay. So would you recommend to Cooltan that they start some kind of music workshop?
It would be nice.
Painting over there, who is it of?
It's my mother. I painted it after she died from cancer. She had a long 8-year fight, and she was 84 when she died.
Yeah.
And it was I always have to paint after a death. It helps heal things for me. But in that case, it was just I was haunted by her face at the window every time I left. That she would wave with tears rolling down her face, and it was so tragic that she didn't accept she had cancer, and so none of us could ever talk about it with her. She was insisting she was fine, she would get well, and of course even up to the very end she didn't actually accept that she had it, and it did make it very, very difficult to deal with. So I tend to paint memories like that.
How long did it take to paint?
Not long, actually, because I've already got it in my head before I paint. It builds up and then I paint it. A couple of days.
Okay. How long have you been coming to Cooltan Arts?
A long time, since when it first started.
And have you always painted? Since you've been coming?
Well, I've painted since I was a child. 8 years old. I used to win prizes when I was in junior school, And we used to do poetry as well with the other Cooltan. I think you do poetry as well in some of the classes here. And we had one of the Cooltan used to be one of the biggest arts units in London, I think. It was very, very big. Thousands and thousands of people used to go through Cooltan when we had the old building.
Do you think Cooltan's improved?
Well, it's definitely concentrated on where it's best, because in the arts it was one of the most successful things it did.
How did you first hear about Cooltan?
I was out and about with Brixton Poets, because we used to perform there, and Cooltan was set up at about the same time, and we used to do poetry at Cooltan.
So when was it actually set up? Do you remember?
It started off in the old Cooltan factory in Brixton, early 80s, I think. And a group of artists and like-minded musicians took it over, turned it into one of the most thriving arts venues in London. It was famous, people used to come to it from all over, because all the arts were without prejudice. Anybody could enter, everybody was completely equal, and it gave lots of people a chance that they wouldn't have ever thought they could hang their pictures in the gallery. So it was very good at bringing a lot of artists forward. And of course at that time there was a lot of music and musicians in Brixton. And there'd be South African musicians, musicians from all over the world used to come and play in Brixton, and they always came to Cooltan, so it was a very, very famous place then. And of course, unfortunately, obviously it was in squatted venues, big buildings, and it was always done in collaboration with the council to make sure that nothing improper was ever done. And unfortunately, in the end, we lost the building, which is when Michelle sort of restarted it all again.
Do you think Cooltan's improved since it first began?
It used to be more orientated to having a good time and partying, let's put it that way. Now it's doing something more useful. It's just so nice to be able to come back into an artistic environment again.
And how do you feel that it's moving to somewhere bigger?
Well, it's not before time. It's definitely very, very cramped, and you need more space. And I think I've seen the new workshop. It's about half the size of the big old spots we used to have. So I think it would be much better. And it's it's on a main road. It'll be safer to get to. So I'm hoping it'll work out well.